Stephanie at Stephanie's Sewing Studio, and we have decided to sew face masks. Some we are donating, some we are selling at a discount, and some we are selling on our website. You can order one from me, but I would much rather you make your own. So I'm going to show you what I have set up. Right now, we have cut on my table many squares of 9 by 6, 9 inches by 6 inch squares. We are doing a lot of white because the way I've decided to do them is one side is white and the other side has some beautiful print on the other side. Now, all of this fabric is 100% cotton. How do you know it's 100% cotton? If you don't buy it, you don't know for sure. Honestly, how I tell, I feel it, or I wash it and dry it. And if it comes out of the dryer looking like a crumpled mess, it's cotton. If it comes out of the dryer and it doesn't have any wrinkles in it, it's probably a cotton poly mix. That's honestly how I tell. And will it be the end of the world if you use a cotton poly mix? No. Especially if this is for you. But they do suggest using 100% cotton. Now these masks are for the general public or as a last resort if medical personnel have no other mask to wear. I would think that they would want to wear this mask and not nothing. And this mask can be washed and reused as long as you want. So we have 9 by 6 pieces of cotton. I also have some elastic cording. Let me show you what I'm using right now. So this is the elastic cording I'm using. I just happen to have this in my studio. You are welcome to use elastic. If you use elastic, you want to get this really thin stuff, if you can. Really thin stuff. This is a 1/4 inch. You can use it. There's no rules here. Use whatever you have or whatever you can get your hands on. I know some people are using hair ties. So use whatever you can. I happen to have 70 yards of this. And this is what I'll be using. I'm also using this. This is floral wire. And it comes along like this. And I've been cutting it short. Now I went to Michael's today to see if they had any more. They don't have any more. I bought this years ago. I don't know where else to get it, but I have a supply of floral wire. I bend it like this, and I'm going to show you how I do that really quick. I just take my pliers and I grab it. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm grabbing it and I'm rolling it. Okay? Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Stephanie, I don't have that. Well, I know people who are using twist ties. I know people are using pipe cleaners. This is just going to go over the nose so that it will stay on your face a little bit better. I've noticed that if you don't have this wire, it really doesn't like to stay on your nose while you're talking. So a twist tie, a little piece of floral wire, a pipe cleaner, whatever you want to use. And I cut my elastic into 6 1/4 inches. Now, before you cut all of your elastic to 6 1/4, I would suggest that you make one mask and put it on your face and start talking and see if it stays on your face. I also put a mask on my husband's face and see if it fit him. And we have a little different size heads. But if this is just for your own personal use, you're just gonna have to kind of guess. So start with 6 1/4. My pattern said 7, but my specific elastic cording, I think, stretches a little more than elastic. So I'm using 6 1/4. Okay, I have 2 pieces of fabric, 100% cotton fabric, 9 by 6, 9 by 6. I've got 2 pieces of elastic, 6 1/4 inches long. I have a piece of wire. I cut this to 4 inches before I curled the edges. So I've got elastic, I've got wire, and I've got 2 pieces of fabric. And I had to turn my iron on because we're going to get there in just a minute. All right, we got good old Hope. Hope is ready to go. Now I'm going to put right sides together. And I'm going to start sewing on one edge. Now you realize we have to leave a spot for turning. So I'm going to start sewing right here. I'm going to use 3/8 inch edge, and I'm going to go to the corner. Okay, I'm going to show you how I do this corner. I went up to this corner and I pivoted. Okay, that means I'm going to leave my needle down, take my presser foot up so I can turn my fabric around, okay? And I'm going to put this piece of elastic cording into the corner. And I'm going to close this corner down, all right? So I can see that that's going out to the corner. I'm going to get 1 stitch on top of that elastic, and I'm going to pivot. Now what I want to do is I want to sew forward and back on this to make sure this is not going to come out. So I'm going to put my machine on a very narrow stitch, take some very tight little stitches back and forward to keep that in place, and then I'm going to finish at 3/8 inch. I'm going to do it again. Raise my presser foot, find the other side of this, pull her out there to the corner, okay? I'm going to turn, I'm going to put my needle down, and now I'm going to go forward and back on a really tight, fine stitch. And then go regular. I'm leaving about 2 inches to turn. I'm going to sew my wire in. If you don't have wire, just don't worry about it. If this is just for you and you don't have a wire, don't worry about it. I put these little I put the little turn on the end because I tried sewing it in without that turn and it just slipped out. I'm going to zigzag the ends and the middle in. I'm going to start out, I'm just going to go really slow. I'm going to go on a, so my machine's old, right? But I'm going to go a half, not a full, but a half zigzag. And I'm going to zigzag over that edge. I'm going to back stitch zigzag. The reason I'm hand rotating that is, well, I broke 2 or 3 needles. And I realize I've got to hand crank over that corner or I'm going to break a needle. Here we go. But this part I don't have to hand crank. That's good. Okay, we're going to turn, I got to clip my corners. So when I clip my corners, I open them up, I just put my thumb on that elastic, and I'm just going to clip my corners. Now I'm ready to turn. So first I'm going to put 2 corners into my turn because I really don't want to bend that piece of metal or the piece of wire. So I'm going to put both corners, the 2 corners in, and then I'm going to follow by putting in half of that wire. All right, so now I got 2 corners through, and now I'm going to put this corner in and follow it through. you don't have to do it exactly like me. After you do about 80 of these, you'll figure out a good way to do it. But this is, and then to pull out those corners, you just go like this. You make sure that that is going to be tough. All right. And we're almost there. Let's go iron. Okay. I'm just going to iron this flat. My iron, who I named Betty, is not quite warmed up, so she's making funny noises. All right, so I'm gonna find my wire end. This is my wire end, and I'm gonna iron 3 pleats in here. Now, you just do it. 1, 2, 3. So you're saying, hey, I can't do it like that. Okay, do it however you're gonna do it. All right? There's no right or wrong way to this. Just iron these in. You can do them one at a time if you want. Like I said, after you do about 80, you'll get a little faster. There we go. She's got steam. All right, let's go sew it. This is my little gap, my little hole. I'm just gonna start there. There's no right or wrong place to start. I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna back stitch. Okay, so something I've noticed about these corners. If I try to get all the way into that corner to make it look really, really nice, my machine doesn't like it. Now that's just hope. Maybe your machine is different, but my machine doesn't like going into this corner. And what I mean by that is it's hard for her to turn the corner on such a narrow top stitching with an elastic in there. So I turn this corner a good 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 inch before I get to the other side. All right, so I'm pushing these pleats in because if you don't, it'll push the pleats out. Okay, I can feel this metal wire right here, and I can feel that it's right there. When you can feel your metal wire right there, you've got to hand crank. If you don't hand crank, you will break a needle. I'm hand cranking because we don't want to break a needle. Once I'm past that hook, I can top stitch 1/16 of an inch if I'm good, and I can feel that the other part of that hook's over there, so I'm not going to break a needle. And you're done. I'm gonna model this for you, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna put this on my face. I'm gonna bend. No matter what I say, it will not come off of my face. It's got a nice metal wire there. And it's like glasses sitting on my nose. It will not come off. Well, it might. If I start yelling, it might come off. But it's nice and secure. And I might say I look really cute. Just kidding. Thanks for watching. I hope you can make your own face mask or make the lives of someone else happy. God bless.